Imagine a life free from the shackles of others' opinions. Picture yourself embracing vulnerability. Dare to be disliked. This is the liberating message at the heart of the courage to be disliked. Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga, through their insightful dialogue, invite us on a transformative journey. They challenge conventional wisdom. Their book is a beacon of hope. It empowers us to seize control of our lives. At the core of The Courage to be Disliked lies Adlerian psychology. It emphasizes individual responsibility and the power of the present moment. This stands in stark contrast to traditional Freudian psychology. Freud delved into the past to understand present behaviors. Adler believed we are not prisoners of our past. We are not defined by our childhood experiences. Instead, we have the power to choose our responses. We can shape our future. This empowering message resonates throughout the book. It forms the foundation for the author's arguments on happiness, freedom, and interpersonal relationships. The Courage to be Disliked urges us to embrace the present moment. It encourages us to let go of past regrets and future anxieties. This focus on the here and now is central to Adlerian psychology. The authors argue that dwelling on the past is futile. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of negativity. Similarly, worrying about the future robs us of the joy of the present. They invite us to focus our energy on what we can control, our actions in the present moment. Living in the now is about recognizing that the only time we have true agency is the present. It is in this present moment that we can make choices. We can take actions that shape our lives. By embracing the power of now, we free ourselves from past traumas and future worries. We open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. The Courage to be Disliked challenges our fundamental assumptions about happiness. We often believe that happiness is dependent on external factors. We chase after wealth, success, and approval. We strive to control the world around us. But what if true happiness lies in letting go of this control? The book encourages us to embrace the unknown. The authors argue that our pursuit of control is an illusion. We cannot control external circumstances. We can control our reactions to them. This is where our true power lies. One of the most liberating concepts in The Courage to be Disliked is the idea of freedom from external validation. We crave approval from others. This desire for validation can be a powerful motivator. It can also be a source of immense suffering. When we tie our self-worth to the opinions of others, we give away our power. We become slaves to their expectations. The authors encourage us to break free from this need for approval. They argue that true freedom comes from within. It comes from accepting ourselves unconditionally. It means embracing our flaws and imperfections. The book challenges societal norms and reminds us that our worthiness is inherent. It is not contingent on external factors. This message is particularly relevant in the age of social media. Embracing the ideas presented in The Courage to be Disliked requires courage. It requires us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. It challenges us to step outside our comfort zones. The rewards, however, are immeasurable. The book reminds us that change is a process, not a destination. It is through these struggles that we build resilience and develop the courage to live authentically. The Courage to be Disliked challenges us to redefine our relationship with ourselves. It urges us to embrace self-acceptance wholeheartedly. This means accepting ourselves with all our flaws and imperfections. This is not about resigning ourselves to mediocrity. It is about recognizing that we are all works in progress. We are all perfectly imperfect. The authors argue that our pursuit of perfection is often a mask for our fear of vulnerability. We strive for flawlessness to avoid criticism and judgment. But in doing so, we also shut out love, joy, and connection. The Courage to be Disliked encourages us to let go of this fear. It reminds us that it is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to not have all the answers. When we embrace our imperfections, we give ourselves permission to be human. We open ourselves up to the possibility of growth, connection, and self-discovery. Self-acceptance goes hand in hand with self-compassion. This is another key theme explored in The Courage to be Disliked. Self-compassion is not about self-pity or self-indulgence. It is about treating ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding that we would offer a loved one. We often hold ourselves to impossibly high standards. We criticize ourselves harshly for our mistakes. The book challenges this self-critical voice. It encourages us to cultivate a more compassionate inner dialogue. Imagine talking to a friend who is going through a difficult time. Would you berate them for their mistakes? Of course not. Self-compassion is about extending this same kindness to ourselves. When we practice self-compassion, we create a safe and supportive inner environment. The courage to be disliked encourages us to reframe our definition of failure. We are often taught that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. This fear of failure can prevent us from taking risks and pursuing our dreams. The authors offer a different perspective. They suggest that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a stepping stone on the path to success. Every mistake, every setback, is an opportunity to learn and grow. Think about a time when you learned a new skill. Did you master it perfectly on the first try? Probably not. You likely made countless mistakes along the way. But with each mistake, you learned something new. The key is to view these setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This principle applies to all areas of life. One of the simplest yet most powerful concepts in The Courage to be Disliked is the power of the word yet. When we add yet to the end of a negative self-statement, we transform it into a statement of possibility. We shift our mindset from one of fixed ability to one of growth and potential. For example, instead of saying I'm not good at public speaking, we can say I'm not good at public speaking yet. This subtle shift in language can have a profound impact on our beliefs about ourselves. It opens up the possibility for growth and change. The authors argue that our beliefs about ourselves shape our reality. If we believe in our own potential for growth, we are more likely to take risks and embrace challenges. The power of yet lies in its ability to transform our self-talk. We are capable of growth, change, and transformation. The Courage to be Disliked underscores the importance of interpersonal relationships. They are integral to our well-being. They are not a means to an end. They are a celebration of our shared humanity. The authors posit that our happiness is interconnected with our ability to form meaningful relationships. This connection is not about seeking validation or depending on others for our sense of self-worth. It's about recognizing the inherent value in each individual and approaching relationships with a spirit of cooperation and respect. Think about the moments in your life when you have felt truly happy and fulfilled. Chances are, these moments involved other people. These connections are the threads that weave the tapestry of a rich and fulfilling life. The book challenges conventional notions of happiness within relationships. We often fall into the trap of believing that our partners, friends, or family members are responsible for our happiness. This, according to the authors, is a recipe for disappointment and resentment. The Courage to be Disliked encourages us to shift our perspective. True happiness in relationships comes from a place of self-responsibility and contribution. It's not about what we can get from our relationships, but what we can bring to them. Imagine a relationship where both individuals are focused on giving rather than receiving, where each person feels seen, heard, and appreciated for who they are. By focusing on what we can give to our relationships, we paradoxically receive more in return. This is the key to unlocking true happiness in our relationships. One of the most challenging yet liberating concepts in The Courage to be Disliked is the idea of detachment in relationships. This doesn't mean becoming emotionally distant or indifferent to the people we care about. It's about recognizing that we are not responsible for the emotions or actions of others, nor are they responsible for ours. The authors emphasize the importance of respecting the autonomy of others. We all have our own unique paths to walk, our own lessons to learn, and our own choices to make. Trying to control or change someone else's journey, even with the best of intentions, ultimately leads to frustration and resentment. By detaching from the need to control others, we free ourselves from unnecessary burdens and expectations. We create space for our loved ones to grow and evolve in their own way. This detachment allows for a deeper and more authentic connection to emerge. It comes from a place of acceptance and allowing. The courage to be disliked provides practical guidance on building meaningful connections. The authors emphasize the importance of open communication, active listening, and empathy. They encourage us to approach our interactions with a spirit of curiosity and a genuine desire to understand the other person's perspective. They also highlight the importance of setting healthy boundaries. This means knowing our own limits and communicating them clearly and respectfully. Building strong relationships takes effort, time, and a willingness to be vulnerable. It requires us to show up authentically, to be present for the other person, and to be willing to work through challenges together. When we surround ourselves with people who support us, challenge us, and accept us for who we are, we create a foundation for a rich and fulfilling life. We experience the joy of connection, the comfort of belonging, and the unwavering support that comes from knowing we are not alone. The rewards are immeasurable. Section 1. Living the courage to be disliked. The courage to be disliked is a call to action. It beckons us to live with purpose and courage. How do we translate these concepts into actions? The authors provide practical guidance. It's about making conscious choices daily. Think of it as embarking on a journey. We take one step at a time. Approach this journey with self-compassion. Section 2. The power of letting go. One of the most transformative aspects of embracing the courage to be disliked is the power of letting go. This means releasing the need to control outcomes, the expectations we place on ourselves and others, and the fear of judgment that often paralyzes us. The authors emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We cannot control the weather, the traffic, or the opinions of others. When we relinquish this need for control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and anxiety. We create space for peace, acceptance, and joy to enter our lives. Think about a time when you held on to something tightly, a grudge, a worry, a fear. Did holding on to it make you feel better? Did it solve the problem? Chances are it only amplified your pain and kept you stuck in a cycle of negativity. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring our problems or pretending they don't exist. It means choosing to approach them from a place of acceptance and empowerment. It means recognizing that we have the strength and resilience to navigate life's challenges, even when things don't go according to plan. Section 3. Finding your community. While the courage to be disliked encourages us to detach from the need for external validation, it doesn't advocate for isolation or a solitary existence. The authors recognize the importance of human connection and the role it plays in our overall well-being. However, they emphasize the importance of choosing our community wisely. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, and support your journey of growth. Seek out relationships with those who value authenticity, embrace vulnerability, and encourage you to be your best self. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties with everyone who doesn't perfectly align with your values. It's about being mindful of the energy you allow into your life and prioritizing relationships that nourish your soul. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. There are countless others who resonate with the message of the courage to be disliked, who are committed to living authentically and embracing the freedom that comes from letting go of the need for approval. Seek them out, connect with them, and support each other on this path of growth and self-discovery. Embracing your authentic self. The courage to be disliked challenges us to examine our lives and relationships. It urges us to shed societal expectations and embrace authenticity. True freedom comes from self-acceptance, flaws and all. We've explored self-acceptance, purpose, and the power of the present moment. Embrace imperfections and approach the future with hope. We are all works in progress, perfectly imperfect. Section 2. A journey of courage and freedom. The courage to be disliked is about freeing ourselves from external validation. It's about living in alignment with our values and aspirations. Embrace vulnerability, show up authentically, and speak your truth. True happiness is a way of traveling, not a destination. Embrace the courage to be yourself.